Joe Biden has played the entire Republican Party like a fiddle. Because, again, Biden never intended to serve 2 terms. Biden would signal that he is only going to serve a term. But Biden, the crafty statesman that he was for over 50 years, absolutely played the entire Republican Party. He had the entire Republican Party thinking he was running another term. He absolutely had dementia. But the thing is, even if he had dementia, he never intended on serving another term. It was always going to be whoever he picked as vice president was going to be running in the election, because the plan was for the Republican Party to have their entire convention based off of running against the old Joe Biden. Now, the Republicans had their convention, Biden dropped out, and he has re-energized younger voters before the election by having the younger prosecutor Kamala Harris go after Donald Trump. Joe Biden loves his ice cream, as you guys know, and he did drop out on National Ice Cream Day. So this was absolutely planned from the get-go. Kamala Harris was picked as the running mate on August the 11th of 2020, which is a day of 11-8. She is an attorney. Attorney is Gematria 118. President Kamala Devi Harris is Gematria 118. President Kamala Harris was chosen by Biden on the 11th day of August of 2020. Because whoever was Biden's pick was the pick selection to defeat Donald Trump in the general election. That's another thing about Biden. He saved Democrats from infighting. There was no raucous primary campaign. So he saved Kamala Harris from another primary. He has Kamala avoid the primary. He made it easy for his vice president to become the president by avoiding the primaries. The amount of time from Kamala's selection to the inauguration day would be over 53 months later. Kamala's selection as Biden to be the hand-picked successor. Pass the torch to Kamala. Pennsylvania was the last state that Biden won in 2020. Joe Biden is from Pennsylvania. Kamala Devi Harris is 53. Biden won the election during the pandemic, during COVID. Now Kamala Devi Harris is going to be inaugurated over 53 months later after Biden picked her. Kamala Devi Harris to pass the torch, and Kamala is inaugurated 53 months after Biden chose her to be the running mate. Now, the Electoral College is going to vote for Harris just over 4 years and 4 months later. In Gematria, the practice coding letters and words into numbers, it's Harris, that's Gematria 44. Notice how Joseph, president right after the Crown virus pandemic. Crown is Gematria 73. This was a huge reason that I correctly predicted Donald Trump to lose in 2020. And this is yet another reason why I have correctly predicted the disastrous one-term president, the disastrous insurrectionist, the unpopular Donald Trump to lose against Kamala Harris, because Harris is crowned as the first female president. And it's already happened. It has already been determined. Just over 52 months later, the Electoral College will vote in Kamala Harris. She is from California, California 52, Coronation 52, the prophecy of the first female president, Kamala Harris. Kamala would win the election 51 months after her selection as Biden's running mate. First female is 51. She was a prosecutor. It's prosecutor. That's Gematria 51. So 4 years in the third month after she was named Biden's running mate, she will win the election. The crown is Gematria 43, the crown as the first female president, born at Oakland, California. So Biden resigns. He dropped out of the race on July the 21st, then July 22nd. The amount of time from July the 22nd to election day is 106 days. Prophecies 106. The crown is 106. Oakland, California is 106. In 10 weeks and 6 days, and they included from the last day of the Democratic National Convention to Election Day. Again. In 118 days from the last day of the Democratic Convention to the day of Electoral College Day, 118 is Gematria Kamala Devi Harris, and she was chosen as Biden's running mate on the 11th day of the 8th month. And so this 151 is Lisa Simpson. 152 would be, you know, Pass the Torch, Pennsylvania, all these things I said in the first video. But this video kind of makes sense of the day that Kamala Harris was chosen to be the actual successor to Joe Biden. Joe Biden only decided he was going to be a transition candidate for the to lead America away from Trump and then to Kamala Harris. I wonder what's the amount of time from the day that Kamala was chosen to be Biden's running mate to the day of her birthday. I think the winner was announced on November the 8th, if I'm not mistaken, in 2020. Wasn't it November the 8th? The election, the day of the actual election was November the 3rd. Now, the amount of time from Kamala's selection to November the 3rd, 84 days and 12 weeks to actual election day. So Republicans don't win the White House till 12 years later because Inauguration Day 2025 is on a 12th day. 84 days would simply be President Harris. And what about her first inauguration from the time of the day of the selection? I think November 8th, Donald Trump he lost. On Biden elected president November 8th because they were done counting the votes. 118 Gematria President Kamala Harris in the 118 days that we spoke about before. Now, amount of time from election day is going to be a key day too, as it relates to the day that Biden dropped out of the race. I'm not sure what 193 weeks is about. Just over 44 months, like Gematria Harris. Three years in the 9th month, because 3 years, 8 months in the 13 days, that'd be the 9th month. 3 years in the 9th month after the election day, Kamala is the presumptive nominee. Kamala is Gematria 39, running against Donald Trump from New York. New York is 39. They take a dump on Trump campaign. This is what this is about. Right here. You know, what about the day that Kamala was chosen to the day of the actual election in 2024? Yeah, for 51 months, I did that. I did that. I wonder what's the amount of time from the day that she dropped out. of the 2020 race. She drops out of the presidential race December the 3rd of 2019. It was all over. She has her hope and faith that Biden's going to somehow pick her to be vice president, and he did. He went with the corrupt black woman instead of the best person, Elizabeth Warren, sad to say. 8 months and 8 days would be Gematria Trump, that she runs against Trump and his running mate. 36 weeks would be Gematria of Obama, be the next black president since Obama. Or I think Barack is Gematria 36. Indeed, it is 36. That's the thing about Barack's Gematria 45. You see, it'd be 4 years and 5 months from August 11th to the time that, that Kamala is elected. So, hey, look, 5 years, 3 months after Kamala dropped out, she has won the election. Passed the torch. Pennsylvania, Biden's home state, the winning state in 2020. COVID, acronym for the crown virus, Kamala Devi Harris. Oligarchy is Gematria 53. Oligarchy. We want Bernie, we want Warren, but instead they pick Kamala. But she's not Donald Trump. This is how the system works. They have corrupt candidates on both sides of the aisle. Okay, the amount of time that Kamala drops out to 2025, to the day of the inauguration. And here we go. 66 months later, she is sworn in as the first female president, the first woman president. Woman is Gematria 66. Taking the crown as the first female president, Corona is crown in Spanish. Corona is Gematria of 66. So this is how the whole coronation is going to go. This is how the complete picture. She is elected by the Electoral College 65 months later. Bart to the future is Gematria 65. And now Republican Party is scared that Kamala's going to win. They're trying to sue so that they keep Kamala's name off the ballot. They're absolutely desperate right now. They're absolutely desperate, and they're scared that Kamala's going to win. Otherwise, they wouldn't be suing to have Biden's name stay on the ballot. They're absolutely scared that Kamala is going to bring the black and women votes, and she's going to energize the Democratic Party as a hard-hitting prosecutor against Donald John Trump. And like I said with Prosecutor 51, 51 months after Biden picked Harris is when she will win the election. Harris won. She won the election. She is President Kamala Devi Harris, Gematria 118. Harris won. Simple. Simple. 5 years, 3 months from the day that she dropped out to the day of the election. And if she dropped out 5 years, 3 months before, in oligarchy's Gematria 53, then it starts to make sense. How we live in an oligarchical system where Elizabeth Warren or Bernie Sanders is not president. So that's what that's about right there. Also, Joseph Biden is Gematria 53. Joseph Biden picked Kamala Harris. 107 days from the day that Joseph Biden dropped out is the inauguration. Pretty clear. Pretty clear. Pretty clear. Kamala Devi Harris. Very, very clear. Pass the torch to Kamala is the narrative. Dems won Pennsylvania. That won the election in 2020. I think it was maybe Nevada or Pennsylvania. But after Pennsylvania, it was clear it was over. These two won the election during the time of the coronavirus pandemic. It's all about 53. 5 years, 3 months after Kamala drops out is election day, and then the day that she was picked as the running mate to the day of inauguration. The day that that she is sworn in. Over 53 months. So the moral of the story, it is 53. Trump lost Gematria 53 in reverse. That's what I'm referring to. Joseph Biden is 53, now Kamala Harris, and passed the torch. He loses again. Trump lost again in the 60th election to Vice President Kamala Harris. So there we have it. Trump lost again, 84. President Harris, 84. Now, what's the amount of time from Donald Trump's birthday to the Kamala Harris birthday? Well, and Kamala's about to become the 46th person to become the president by winning the nomination at Chicago. Donald Trump's birthday to the day of the election. Donald Trump gonna get picked apart. President Biden 144. Well, Biden was the presumptive nominee before, and now 145 days. The dementia. At 1:45, Biden decides to drop out. The tweet was posted at 1:46 on the day of. The Catholic president. And I think Chicago, Illinois is 145 as well. Barack Obama, the last black president from Chicago. So it's over for Donald Trump. Surely it is. Donald Trump lost Gematria of President Harris, 84, 60th election. Loses again to the vice president. The day that Biden picked Kamala to the day that Biden dropped out. I think I already did that already. You know, just over 47 months later, that, you know, Kamala's basically the president, the 47th president. Lisa Simpson is also 47 in the Simpsons episode. So just over 47 months later from the time that Biden picks Kamala, Biden drops out of the race. Now, election day to the day that Biden drops out would be the 45th month. Again, the 45th month, the first black president since Barack Obama. Barack is 45. The amount of time from the selection of Kamala. Now lunatics will be here and say, "Oh, Obama's, Kamala's president, Obama is shadow presidency." You know, they're about to say that basically, but it's the DNC that controls everything. But here you go. First president since Barack beat Agent 45, get inaugurated again for the Democrats 4 years and 5 months later, the convention at Illinois. So the day that Kamala dropped out to the day that, she's the front runner for president. I don't think I did that yet. Well, just over 4 years and 7 months later, again, that's the big president number that we speak about. 56 months would be Gematria of coronavirus. And she is crowned the new Queen of America. Why wasn't it Elizabeth Warren? Why was it not Elizabeth Warren, a far more progressive candidate than Kamala Harris? Because it's oligarchy at the end of the day. If they want to push Ivanka, then Warren is a great president because she's a winning progressive for the people. Same thing with Bernie Sanders. Is Kamala Harris, she just feeds off the negative energy of Donald Trump. So she's put in there to, save our democracy from Donald Trump, and she's going to put in there to kind of do a bad job and have Ivanka become president.